Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 56. We're now in part 2 and continuing on with the Ultra Member submissions. I think the next video is very pertinent because, sadly, recently we lost Akira Toriyama, the legendary creator of, Dragon Ball and many other franchises. And I think this video is kind of almost a tribute. The 10 best Akira Toriyama video games. I don't know if we'll watch the whole 10 minutes. Maybe we'll skip around, but let's see. There's no timestamps on this video? That sucks.
Across the world, Akira Toriyama was hired as a character designer for a new role-playing game Enix wanted to develop with the staff of Shonen Jump. This partnership was born to show Shonen Jump's audience how video games were made, and it would birth the beginning of the most influential JRPG and one of the most impactful video games ever made. Dragon Quest is responsible for everything you may know about JRPGs, from the extensive storylines and combat systems to the focuses on party management and requirement for XP farming. But most notably, it is widely known for Toriyama's visual style and for giving us one of the best enemy designs in gaming history, the slime. Since then, so many other games have paid tribute to the slime, as well as Dragon Quest and Toriyama in general. Super Dragon Ball Z.
I never played this one. Super Dragon Ball Z, 2006.
For the majority of Dragon Ball games, Akira Toriyama was only ever credited as being the original author. Just about all of the games were only ever adapted from previously written works. But Super Dragon Ball Z was the first time Toriyama was put in a higher position as supervisor. This was most likely to help keep the game true to the source material and make sure the visuals replicated the look and feel of the anime and manga. Regardless, this was one of many PlayStation 2 Dragon Ball games that had us itching to play it every night after school, or better yet, every weekend.
Arise, Shenron, and grant me my wish!
Tobal number 1.
Oh, I forgot all about this game. Oh yeah, I forgot this was Toriyama.
While Akira Toriyama will forever be known for Dragon Ball and Dragon Quest, he did work on a few unique IPs as well. Tobal number 1 is a revered one. While the PS1 sea of fighting games was largely dominated by Tekken, Bushido Blade, and just about anything made by Capcom...
For some reason, it's playing a Chrono Trigger theme while he does this. So this game, it had a Toriyama art style, but it was a hybrid between Virtua Fighter and Tekken, but it was really weird because everything was like massive combinations of buttons. It would be like, tap these buttons to grab, then tap these buttons for a variation on the grab, then tap these buttons to strike, and then tap these buttons. It was really complex and maybe almost ahead of its time, and it didn't get a lot of play. Honestly, like, it just didn't get a lot of attention at the time when it came out. But it was cool because it was Toriyama designs.
Mainline Dragon Quest games that Akira Toriyama contributed his character designs to.
I never played Builders 1. I played Builders 2, and Builders 2 had a really good story. This is a pretty good game. If you like crafting and games with a lot of building and survival aspects, it's pretty good. And especially if you like the Toriyama art style, of course. There we go.
Fortune Street. Another
I never saw this
oddball
one.
in Akira Toriyama's portfolio is this board game video game that only ever had a presence in Japan prior to this installment.
Yeah, look, it's Dragon Quest characters with Mario characters combined. That's interesting. That's actually...
Characters played alongside Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth, and many other Final Fantasy characters. Dragon Quest VIII: Journey of the Cursed King.
I never played it. I always wanted to, and I didn't get to. I owned it, and I never got to play it. Sucks, because I think it's probably a great game, right? The PS2 one. I played all the ones before
Dragon Quest
this.
VIII is arguably the best RPG to ever grace the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo 3DS. In addition to featuring the same beautiful music from the late Koichi Sugiyama, he passed away in 2021, this title featured some of Akira Toriyama's best work in character
Wait, maybe I did play this. It was on 3DS? Maybe I did play this one. I think I might have played this one.
The design of the hero, the hefty appearance of Yangus, the attractive and tomboyish Jessica, and the reckless but handsome Angelo will forever be known as some of Dragon Quest's most iconic characters in the franchise. And that all goes without mentioning King Trode, Munchie, Dual Magus, and Princess...
I think I did play this one on 3DS.
No, it was his technology.
Blue Dragon!
Apparently, Toriyama was doing his work on a significantly older version of Adobe Photoshop. This made it a bit tougher for certain ideas to fully flesh out, but in the end, he and the rest of the team managed to create one of the most memorable and often forgotten Xbox 360 classics.
Yeah, most people don't even remember this game exists, but it's super good. It's fun turn-based combat. It's got a unique story, a unique, just idea that they have these, like, spirits attached to them. And each has, like, a different... It's almost like a stand from, like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when you really think about it. So it's not a super original idea, but it has the Toriyama art style. The music in this game is outstanding. I did do a playthrough of it many, many years ago when I first did direct capture stuff. I played this game for you guys. It's a great game. I would love to go back and play it again someday.
If you haven't already, you should go grab Blue Dragon right now.
Yeah.
It's even backwards compatible with Xbox Series XS.
I see the selection in this case has improved.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Well, we all know what this game is, obviously. It's their most recent fighting game, and it's still played to this day, although not as prominent as it used to be when it first came out.
Despite seeing very few re-releases compared to other SNES classics, there is a whole generation of people who still swear by Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
While continuing to work for Enix on the Dragon Quest games, Akira Toriyama worked with their then competitor Square to design the characters for Chrono Trigger. Once again, Toriyama's
how funny is it there was Enix and Square, and then they fused to become Square Enix, so they were competitors, and then they became the same company.
Shines here.
That'd be like if Sega and Nintendo fused to become Nintendo. Or Segendo.
It's impossible to mistake Chrono, Marley, and Luca for any other franchise he's been a part of. Of course, with great character art comes an excellent writing team consisting of Takashi Tokita, Yoshinori Kitase, Yuji Horii, and Masato Kato. With their story and
like Bandai Namco too, right? Just fusing the names, right?
Toriyama's beautiful and aggressive style, it's no wonder why Chrono Trigger resonates with folks decades since its inception.
Such a great game. I cried playing it last year. It was so good. You must play. If you don't, you're missing out.
Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age.
And obviously, we did a full playthrough of this game. And super amazing game. One of the best RPGs I've ever played. It basically has two different plots in one game. It's a masterpiece. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. No one's ever going to replace you, man. You're amazing talent. And the world is a worse place for not having him in it. All right. A well-stocked kitchen will get you women laughing out loud.
What's your boy Shot City, man? Yeah, now a lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know I put you onto the whip game, put you onto a lot of things about the card game. You got any questions, holla at me. Right now, you know what I'm saying? You in a nigga's kitchen. Hold on, just for the moment of silence for the brand new Italian tile. Yeah, they just put this.
What the hell kind of camera does this guy have? You see how choppy this is?
Down last night.
That's a bad camera.
Cool as hell, man. Pure Italian. Alright, fuck that shit. Anyway, okay, alright. So, I was at my nigga's crib, okay? And I was trying to tell the nigga if he could just do small things to his shit, like his kitchen and his bathroom, he'll have women everywhere, dropping vagina panties all over the place. You know what I'm saying? He thought I was bullshitting. So I said, look, I'm gonna do a video of just something small like my refrigerator, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna show you that I'm real with the shit. Alright, hold on, one more thing. Y'all see this shit? It's a chrome garbage can. I ain't never seen no chrome garbage can. The shit's from Egypt and it flips over like this. Ain't that some cool shit? Alright, fuck that shit. Okay, alright. So, if you have an assortment of drinks in your fridge, it's gonna open up the world. Women are gonna come over here, they're gonna be comfortable. I know it sounds silly, but I want y'all to feel me on this right now. Oh yeah, nigga made a pizza. Well, I was hungry. Okay, fuck that shit. Okay, bang! Nah, I know like
his entire fridge is drinks. He's got no food. He's got no food at all in the fridge. He's got 700 different drinks and no food.
y'all like, come on, man. Why you got nothing but drinks in your shit? Why you ain't got no food? I'm gonna tell you why. See, when different women come over,
is that in the bottom drawer there? Is that like those squeeze drinks? I used to have those in the 90s. Like the Kool-Aid, they had the twist top plastic. You twist it off the top and you squeeze it into your mouth. that what that is down there in the bottom left?
Different women like different things, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So like for the mature, this real talk, for the mature chick, you know, over 30, who still drinks juice, you hit her with the Mystic. They always get Mystics. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know Mystic still existed. I haven't seen one in the last decade. Do they still exist? I mean, this is a 16-year-old video. I wonder if they even still make them.
And the Snapples, that's for like the suburban chicks. You know, they come over here, they be like, oh my God, Chai City, like, do you have anything to drink? And then I'm like, yeah.
All right, the best part about the video is that you can tell no one drinks it. It's just sad that he stocked it. There ain't no women coming over his place. It's full. No one came over his place to drink his drinks. It's completely stocked. So no one arrived to drink. He's I mean, obviously, this is supposed to be like a comedy video, right? Like he's joking, Italian tile floor, Egyptian chrome trash can, and this is just common stuff. That's from, you know, I get it. It's comedy. People like it, but that's just hilarious. All right, next video.
Say nice things about me? Because I will tase her if necessary.
Uh-oh.
I have the taser. We haven't had to use it in a long time. But
I said lots of nice things.
In the early 90s, Nickelodeon was kid everything. And you better hope that your house had cable.
Wasn't there to educate you. We were there to have fun,
For
to
summers.
get slime, to be entertained.
And this is when Dan Schneider arrives. Nickelodeon's
Yeah, I know
boy.
about this story. I don't know the full story, but I definitely know about the story, like what's going on, is that there's a huge scandal right now with Nickelodeon that they're discovering that all those kids shows that they produced in the 2000s, that there was like massive abuse of the kids. Like the producers and the people involved were actually, some of them they're saying they're being accused of things like pedophilia, and that they would make the kids do fucked up stuff behind the scenes of these shows and everything, and no one knew that was going on. And now it's finally being exposed. Like this whole big thing is being exposed. And, you know, much like a lot of things, Hollywood in general, these things probably have gone on for the longest time and no one ever knew about them. And of course the kids, you know, they shut up. They're, you know, they're not going to say anything, or maybe they just don't know any better. And then years later when they're adults, they realize, oh my God, all this effed up stuff happened. Right?
These shows that were hugely successful for them.
No one had ever really done sketch comedy starring kids for kids.
This is the guy, yeah.
The careers of child actors who became major stars.
For 20 years, he shaped children's entertainment and culture.
Thank you for being here.
But that marked one of the darkest chapters.
So I guess, yeah, so this is the documentary. I don't want to watch too much of this because likely it's going to get, since this is obviously a trailer, it's going to get claimed. But if you're interested, I think this is a Netflix documentary that's coming up about this, or it's on some channel. Is this at the True Crime Channel or something? I don't know what it's on, but this is supposed to be coming out, or it is out now, where it follows this whole deal. So, and apparently, I don't know if this guy was like convicted of it or if he's just accused of it and he's going through it right now. But, you know, pretty messed up. This, again, this kind of stuff happens in Hollywood all the time, and people just don't know it. You know, you get all these accusations that get thrown around. How many people get away with it, right? All right, that's as much as we're going to watch about that, because I know this thing's going to end up getting blocked or claimed. Just like this next video, too. Like, I'm interested in it, but we've watched videos before from... Isn't this supposed to be from Barstool? But now it's One Bite Pizza Reviews, so maybe they changed the channel that they do it on, because it used to be on, like, Barstool. Last time I watched one of these, it got blocked and claimed. So let's see if we can watch this or not. Where's this? St. Petersburg, Florida, the Violet Stone. Davey Page views. This guy is a character, right? Because this is the guy who actually owns Barstool, I think. Dave Portnoy, is that his real name?
All right, One Bite Ever Knows rules. The Violet Stone wood-fired pizza, that generally means it's going to be super thin and a little floppy. This, I love. That sign, caution, well done pizza, I like it well done. They're from Philly, been here about a year.
My name's Brittany, me and my husband are there.
You guys, they own it? How long have you had it for?
Just a year.
Oh, new.
Started out as a pizza truck. And
How long do you have the truck for?
6 months.
So you went 6 months truck to here. He just said, let me throw you a cheesesteak, because we make great cheesesteaks. So here we go. Oh! Damn, I wasn't expecting it to look like that. He said it's the best.
Look at that char.
Now they knew it was me, he overdid it.
Nah, dude, that looks amazing. So he lifts it up, 0 flop, but it's not hard. It means that it's going to be a doughy, chewy bite, but you're going to have a crunchiness on the bottom with a char flavor. You've got your, notice around the edge of the crust, you've got a line of sauce. That's how traditional Italian pizza is. It always has the line of sauce right near the crust. The bubbly cheese that's cooked well is going to have flavor to it. Like, that's pretty close to really authentic, good stuff right there.
He overdid that slice. That slice is too burnt. Is it always as burned?
It's, yeah.
He did say well done.
Though.
I love it. Well done. Let's give it a shot. Okay. I think he fucked this pizza up. That can't be, that's too much. I have this in my head, easy 8. Like, this is what I want pizza to look for. They overdid the crust. That's too burned on the crust. Did they know this was me, is the question.
Probably. I mean, at this point, a lot of people know this guy. He's very noticeable, his face. So I guarantee that pizza places are kind of, a lot of them are probably told, hey, if this guy ever comes in, this is a guy who does an internet series that's very popular. If he says your pizza is good, you're going to get a lot of extra business. So be ready for this guy to come by, right? And when he comes by, do this thing, overcook the pizza, do this, do that, right? Like, I'm sure they probably don't usually put the basil on the pizza like that either. They just did it for him, like a little extra, right?
Was yours like that?
I got it 2 days ago. It wasn't. No.
Well, what are you doing? You didn't have pizza just now?
No, I just ordered it. I'm just waiting for it.
I gotta see what yours almost looks like.
I will wait for this pizza all day, though, so far.
That's too much, though, on the under. I gotta ask.
You can have my pizza, bro.
I gotta ask. All right, I gotta ask. I thought there was gonna be an easy 8. For me, that's too much. Is it always that black on the back? Is it always that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You always go that charred?
Not that bad, but no.
I gotta see what the next one looks like. Because that's too charred.
He wants to see another pizza.
That can't always be that charred. That has to be an overchar, no?
Can I see it?
Yes. I think that has to be an overchar. Where'd he go? I'm thinking it has to be an overchar.
Oh, yeah. That one, definitely.
And they're all.
Okay, I got you. I actually have one in right now.
Because I'm right? That's not how it normally, yeah. I'm gonna redo this. Did you know it was
We're
me?
working with a new one.
Did you know it was me?
What's that?
Did you know it was me?
No. Yeah, 2 guys.
Because I love it, Charlie. Like that's how I thought it would be, but that's too.
He burned all the
I'm gonna redo
pizzas.
it.
Oh my god. But it's not getting claimed, so maybe this new channel doesn't get claimed. He's going to do a second try. Oh, he's eating the cheesesteak. They gave him a Philly cheesesteak because they're from Philly.
On days I'm doing 15 pizza reviews because I only have so much in the tank, you know? Just burn my hand a little. One bite cheesesteak review. You want to see how this compared to the best in Philly. This is a great cheesesteak.
He said, I'm going to do 1 bite, and then he took 2.
Yeah, I mean... Without knowing anything about Tampa, St. Pete, I gotta assume by far this is the best cheesesteak that you can get here. Like by far. Like this is
You can't stop eating. You know it's good because you just can't stop eating.
9-2 cheesesteak. Have you had the cheesesteak? Spectacular. This is a real deal Philly cheesesteak. Spectacular.
Nice. So did he get his second pizza?
That's the undercarries that way there. Let me cool it off. Still looks great. People are gonna be like, Dave, you have a black heart. That's what they say. Like, I'm a mean guy. I have never done what I just did, which is a total, I got the pizza, ate it. I'm like, I need a new one. I'm not gonna score the first one because it's a mom and pop, husband-wife combo. Been here for a year. The pizza looks great, and I got a bad pot. It was just too burned on the, you couldn't eat it. It was inedible.
Too much char. All you could taste was the char. I get that.
Wait, redo it. Let's give this a new score. And that is what the undercarriage is supposed to look like. So
some
here we go.
char,
One
not
bite,
totally char.
rules. Back to the violet song. Also, I consider myself a marketing guy. I asked, and they're like, because their cheesesteak is as good as you can get in Philly. I gave it a 9.2. Like, the bread reminded me of Angelo's. We're in St. Pete, like Tampa area. For me, there's a lot of East Coast people, a lot of Philly people, Boston, New York. They should make it very well known that they're authentic Philly people, which they are, and they're like doling out authentic cheesesteaks. I feel like
I guarantee you, within 2 days, their business has quadrupled. They probably have people lining up out the door to get food now because this guy gets this many views in a day or two, and everyone in that area is going to want to go eat there. People are probably driving to get the food now.
They have a line around the corner. They said no. They're like, we don't think that's good. It sounds corny.
Have you ever thought of like incorporating Philly into, like, you guys are a super Philly spot?
I think it, like, I don't know, like the tagline Philly style, I think that's corny.
I think it would be a big selling point. What do you know? One bite, everybody knows the rules. Here's the take two. So this is my kind of pizza. Can you give an 8-1 on a take two? It's a question. It's a metaphorical question. Or do I have to go 7-9?
All right, I think we've seen enough, but the pizza looks amazing. Sadly, I would have eaten the charred one too. Like, I like char on my pizza as well, so I probably would have eaten the charred piece, no problem.
All right, so let's dumb this down for just 1 second, because I want to ask a question.
Darn, I was supposed to fast forward to a certain part in this video, and I can't remember the part. I think it's supposed to be like a minute or two in. Let's just go like a minute in.
Question, and so I'll try to address it this way. So there's a line in the New Testament where Christ says that no one comes to the Father except through him, which is a hell of a thing for anyone to say. I mean, there's a lot of statements in the New Testament that are strikingly strange in that manner. I am the way and the truth and the life. That's another one. It's associated with the same idea.
Yeah. And we'll get to some of the New Testament, Old Testament stuff.
So here's the idea, and it bears on your question, although I don't exactly know how. It's as if there's a spirit at the bottom of things that is involved in the bringing to being of everything. So for example, people talk about evolution as a random process, but that's not true. It's not true. The mutations are random, but there's also a lot of other sources of genetic variation. But the selection mechanisms are not random. So now then the question is, what are the selection mechanisms? So
I thought the question was, what's the definition of God? He's talking about selection mechanisms of evolution. Okay.
I'm going to have to go a bunch of places to answer this question.
Mostly,
well, here's one selection mechanism. Yeah. It's like, so human females are very sexually selective. That's why you have twice as many female ancestors as male ancestors. So the male failure rate for reproduction is twice that of the females. Okay, so the question is, well, how is it that males succeed differentially? And the first answer is, well, females reject. Human females reject. But then the question might be, well, they reject on the basis of what? And the answer is...
He still hasn't answered the question. I'm waiting for... Can I fast forward, I guess? Is he ever going to answer the question?
And so men will organize themselves into groups and privilege certain men. And that
All right, you're still not answering the question. Let's fast forward a little further.
has to do with the nature of consciousness itself. And I would say that I think that's true. I believe the biological case, and I believe the biologically reductive case, but I don't think that exhausts it. I think that there's a metaphysical layer underneath that the biology is a genuine reflection of. And that's the sort of the macrocosm above and the microcosm below. That we are really reflective, including in our consciousness, of something about the structure of reality itself. And that might involve whatever it is that God is.
Well, so that's why I think this is so interesting, because what you're doing there, especially at the end, is you're giving it a little room to say, I don't know, right?
Well, you have to.
Yeah. But I think that's what people don't want to grant you.
Well, this is why I don't like the question. Do you believe in God? Right. It's like, well, that's like, to me that question is always like, well, what makes you so sure that you know that God exists?
Right.
And it's like, well, I'm not sure. I'm not willing to claim that certainty, you know, but I laid out the argument. I don't know what you think.
So what do you think about when he takes it all the way to that end, and then there's that little space at the end?
I mean, again, I don't think that that's severely problematic in terms of just general religious thought. I mean, the general religious thought going back thousands of years, and this is why when you look at Aquinas' proofs of God, what he comes to is he says, basically what you say, which is if you go down deep enough, then you get to something. And that something is what we call God. So he doesn't say God, the Bible starts from the premise God exists and he created the universe. Aquinas starts from, we have a universe, what says God is there? And he says, well, when you go all the way down deep enough, there has to be a force that lies behind the combined logic of the universe, and that thing is what we call God, right? And so he's trying to reason his way back to first principles. And I think that the case for God...
This makes a lot more sense. The way he's saying it makes a lot more sense than when Peterson was just kind of like taking so long to get to the point that it didn't make sense. This is more concise.
Not in the way that we think of him as like a jolly bearded guy in the sky who like takes care of all of our problems or anything, but the idea that there is a logos, right? There's a structure, a fundamental structure to the way life is, and there is a reason and a fundamental purpose to why life is, and what lies below that you can call God. And that
consciousness has some association with it.
Well, and that
all right. So basically, what they're saying is, to them, they believe that there is some kind of a intangible thing behind life that's a commonality, the design of life, and they call that God. They're not saying God is a person, or God is an entity, or God is a embodiment of anything. That God could actually be something that is the design of life behind all of it, right? But even then, like Peterson said, I'm not sure. So he's not sure, but that's what he thinks, thinking from a scientific perspective. That's pretty open-minded. Like, I believe, isn't Peterson Christian? And I guess Ben Shapiro there, is he Jewish? Because he's wearing, I believe that's a yarmulke. That's interesting because in both of their religions, that's not the case. I can tell you right now, growing up a Roman Catholic, I was outright told, no, there is a God. There is only one God. Is an entity that is, or not even an entity. Like he's not really a person, but, they exist 100%. And yes, it's based on faith, and that's the truth, and you got to believe it. There was no discussion of God as a disembodied design that evolution followed to create life. Never. And you'll never find that in any religious book. You'll never find that in a religious school. You'll never hear someone say that in a church. You know what I mean? Like, I've never heard that before. That's something that I heard much later on in my life as I got to like university, studies and things like that. It's interesting to hear these two guys literally say that, because it feels so different from what you would hear someone considered to be more religious say. That's interesting. All right. I get it. That was pretty interesting. All right. Well, guys, that is it for part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I believe we have like 4 Ultra member videos left, and then we can get to the submission level tier. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying, and I'll see you in part 3 of DSP versus the internet.